the reason that digital assets are spreading around the world is because.
Well, why do we need a digital dollar? We kind of already can make digital payments.
The most important one is he does not want to be a lame duck.
Michael Saylor tells us why digital assets are spreading across the world.
And the CEO of Coinbase tells us why we need a digital dollar.
And Cathie Wood says Trump does not want to be a lame duck. Welcome back to the Satoshi's Hive studio. I'm Damian.
I'm Andy.
And we're just two guys sitting around a table shooting the shit about Bitcoin. Wherever you're joining us, Nostr, YouTube, from around the world, thank you for following, liking, and subscribing. We really appreciate the viewership. Gonna check in on our time chain calendar blockchain height at 932,055.
Ticking along every 10 minutes, eh? Hey, we got some great upcoming stories, Kai.
We do.
Right? Yeah, one of the world's largest economies is now embracing Bitcoin.
Yeah, and a senator out of Arizona looking to put a bill into play for crypto. It's very cool.
Very cool. El Salvador is doing something really cool at their main airport.
Yeah, new goodies at the airport.
These stories and more after this flight.
Tell my cousin, buy some Bitcoin. It don't need no sauce.
He says.
If it ain't got pepperoni, I ain't trusting it.
Then he spends $50 on a picture of a pizza slice. Guy's a genius.
At least Bitcoin don't go stale, capiche?
Welcome back to the program. So we're delving into some news now, talking about one of the world's largest economies now making it a little easier for crypto.
Japan.
Right? Good food, good people.
Right, and now they're gonna start integrating that whole crypto system into their financial system.
Yeah.
This is big news for Japan.
It's huge news for Bitcoiners around the world anyway, because when you look at the amount, okay, so we've just kicked it off by saying largest economy, one of, are now going to be getting involved with Bitcoin. That is going to put such a squeeze on the supply.
Yes,
you know,
of course.
Of course, we have the strategy bees out there you can get it from.
Well, coming up soon, the update there as well. And then we've got Wendy Rogers, Arizona senator. They're wanting to remove taxes from Bitcoin.
Now, that's real self-custody.
Right.
Not having to worry about claiming anything.
Yes.
Yes. Everyone's kind of worried that there's going to be really strict stipulation. We haven't seen that yet. There's going to be something, but maybe not in Arizona.
Again, countries are going to have their own rules.
For sure.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
And if you are going to El Salvador, in the airport, they did a couple of cool things. Check these out. This is a massive Bitcoin welcome, awesome monument. It's wicked.
And it's got all these computer terminals showing charts and everything like that behind it as a matter of information.
Do you know what those are? That is the current status of El Salvador's Bitcoin purchasing, where it's been, where it's going. It's all about, you know, this
complete transparency.
Bitcoin city. Yeah.
And transparency, obviously. Eh? That's
so
really cool.
There's a reason we call them the city of Bitcoin. And that's actually on the logo too.
Yes.
So
why wouldn't it be?
comfort.
After all of that, why wouldn't it be? Yeah, exactly.
We have some more amazing stories coming up. We like to go back into history with Bitcoin, and we got a good one.
Including an amazing email from Hal Finney replying to Satoshi.
Yeah, we're going to check that out coming up.
The summit conditions are perfect.
Looks incredible.
I'm ready.
Doors open.
You're clear to drop.
See you at the bottom.
Woo! Bitcoin is carving it up!
Okay, so once in a while, we love going back in time, and this was a really fun one. 2009, January 11th, Hal Finney, who was the first recipient of Bitcoin from Satoshi, was in a conversation with Satoshi, and man, did he spew. Hal Finney from 2009.
Yeah, and so the contents of that email were quite, wow, like you're talking about this back then. I mean,
Bitcoin 0.1.
Yeah, like, oh, yes, 0.1,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, they're talking about peer-to-peer. They're talking about the 21 million cap. They're talking about the 4-year cycle. And then it could go up to like 10 million if things all planned out the way they should.
Yeah. And one thing that we need to note is nowhere in any emails did Satoshi ever mention a price.
He didn't.
No
not
speculation,
once.
nothing.
Yeah.
It was just peer-to-peer, baby. There it is.
Nobody could ever accuse him of that, that's
No.
for sure.
And this one has been in the news in the past as well.
A few times.
Yeah.
A few
Should
times.
we? Could we?
And that is, does anybody think that Satoshi Nakamoto should deserve a Nobel Peace Prize?
So we need to note that the Nobel Peace Prize is how you say it correctly. It is broken down into different categories, right? It's economics, finance. It's, so yes, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Of course, because it's going to hit
without
a number of those categories.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And, I mean, there's people that cannot get bank accounts, and we're going to find out from the CEO of Coinbase talking about why we need the digital dollar. People are like, we got that already. No, there's a reason we have it, and it has saved millions. And we're going to check those and more coming up.
With Bitcoin, anything is possible.
Hey, welcome back to the program. We are talking about videos. We kicked off the show with these videos, and we're going to talk about the importance as to why Bitcoin helps so many. So first of all is Michael Saylor telling us why digital assets are spreading around the world.
The reason that digital assets are spreading around the world is because there's a billion people. They want to hold the money in their hand. They want to move the money at the speed of light. They don't want to be dependent on 20th century financial structures. They don't trust gatekeepers. And they would like to move forward with their lives with some control, with financial freedom and sovereignty and property rights. And those fundamentals are stronger than ever.
It's self-custody, baby.
It is. It is. It's not giving up ownership of anything you own to anybody else, or not having to go through somebody to move an asset. You own it. You have that asset. Yeah. You get to choose what to do with it.
Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah.
And the CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, he's talking about why we need the digital dollar. This goes back to what I was saying before, is why we need it, and it's important.
A few years ago, people were asking, people were talking about stablecoins, and they were saying, well, why do we need a digital dollar? We kind of already can make digital payments. And this is just like a dollar sitting in a bank account. We're going to make a digital token of it. What's the point of that? It turned out it's a massive market. There's high demand for the dollar in all these countries around the world. And a lot of people in the world can't get access to dollar denominated accounts. They live in a high inflation country like, Turkey or Argentina or Nigeria. So that was one piece. And then the other was it just reduced friction in terms of like all kinds of payments people wanted to make in crypto for trading and, overseas B2B payments. And now these things are all there was something like $30 trillion of stablecoin payment volume in the last year.
Okay, so all of these people in these countries, and he mentioned a couple like Argentina and Turkey.
And many, many more.
Many more, where they can't get a bank account. The dollar isn't worth crap.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you got? You've got Bitcoin that
peer-to-peer
goes up.
Peer-to-peer. And the more retail and the more that everybody involves themselves, we'll be able to walk into, like we can in Walmart today, and pay with Bitcoin.
We have shown lots of videos how easy it is to go in these countries like El Salvador and like Costa Rica, where it's just an app on your phone, pay, and you're out the store and it's all with your Bitcoin.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's moving forward.
And what about Cathie Wood with CEO with ARK? Trump doesn't want to be a lame duck.
Yeah, we'll watch that.
I actually think they will start buying because I think this will help Trump in a couple of ways. The midterm elections, part of the reason he won the presidency, I think, was the crypto community. Yes. And another reason, of course, is his family is all in on Bitcoin and other crypto assets. And they have, we talked about the DATs earlier. They've kind of fallen apart this year. So I think he's got all kinds of reasons to do this. But the most important one is he does not want to be a lame duck.
Yeah, they are all in. The Trump family has gone 100% all into crypto. And as a president, I think they've They have started a ball rolling with crypto. I'm sure it would have happened anyway, but I think they have accelerated it.
And we do have a big crypto bill coming out later this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll mention market volatility in a little bit. But they do also want to buy 1 million Bitcoin.
Yeah,
That's the game plan.
That is their goal.
So plan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have anything extra you want to throw out there?
Well, just Michael Saylor off again at it today with the tracker. They bought 13,627 Bitcoin for $1.25 billion.
Wow, that's awesome.
Really crazy. Really crazy. And I talked about market volatility and everything like that. It's a big week coming up in news this week, so you might see some really big volatility. One of the things was Powell was given a subpoena today, last night by the Trump DOJ. And being that he's heavily involved in the financial markets, you may see some volatility this week. Just keep your eye open for that and for the reason why.
Oh, we're kind of used to that.
Yeah.
Why don't we get the last word from Mr. Michael Saylor?
My view is Bitcoin's going to outperform gold. It's going to outperform the S&P. It is digital capital. And so if you're a long-term investor, this is the place to be.
All right, coming up, we're going to check out what events are happening in your Bitcoin world. The event calendar is on the way.
Attempt for a new world record. 320 kilograms on the bar, representing the United States, Mervyn Shane!
Bitcoin. There's no dead weight here.
Hey, welcome back to the program. Time now for your Bitcoin events calendar.
And welcome back. And if you like what we're doing here at the studio, check the QR code below. Helps to make every show even better than the last one.
Yeah, all the stats go back into the show.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, good show. Covered most of the things we needed to cover.
So much going on.
There's so much more we could cover, but there's only so much you can do in a certain period of time. Yeah.
So on that note, I'm Damian.
I'm Andy.
We're just two guys sitting around a table shooting the shit about Bitcoin right here on BimbleBit.com.
Cheers, mates.